we're going to explain to you today why Bitcoin has struggled. We're going to explain to you why Bitcoin took a massive crash last month. We're going to talk to you about the promises that were made and then what actually happened. But we are going to be exposing the dishonesty from a billionaire and his little buddy. He's a little guy, a little buddy. So we're going to be talking about this, and we're going to show you when these people dumped the price, and we're going to explain to you who they are.
In today's episode, Ben Armstrong talks about the biggest misconception about Bitcoin. Bitboy talks about a secret cartel led by a billionaire that's behind his fall. He claims that the Hourglass token creators are responsible for causing heavy losses in Bitcoin, and alleges that a billionaire-backed Bitcoin used to dump it as soon as the personal issues of Bitboy came out. Ben highlights the involvement of individuals like Brian Evans and Mahoney in illegally manipulating the crypto markets, and in the end, Ben has a strong message for Ben holders. If you're into crypto, this video is for you. And if you're into trading, check our Bybit promo for some massive sign-up bonuses and free $20 just for creating an account, so you can start trading free crypto today.
Let's talk about this. So this is a show. It's called The Next Crypto Gym. It's got Leah Halpern and George from cryptosrus, and I was on the show for one episode. I was brought in, and this is where I really started a relationship with a guy named Jet, and we're going to talk about that. Jet is actually who hooked me up with Donald Trump Jr. So being my friend, showing me around, like showing me, people, he's got connections to Trump and stuff, and it was big. Like, I really enjoyed my interview with Donald Trump Jr. I think he's a great guy. Maybe a man of his word. I mean, maybe people can pick that up, but Jet, definitely not a man of his word, which we'll show. But George and Leah have nothing to do with this. And I want people to understand, you can go watch the show and it's entertaining. And George and Leah don't deserve probably to be hooked up. They don't deserve to be hooked up with these people. Brian Evans, we're going to be talking about how this is one of the biggest scammers in the entire industry. We're going to show you how he gets all of his followers. And we're going to break all of this down. Why am I showing you this? It's because the people behind this show, Jeff Mahoney and Cliff Jet Tang is his name. He goes by Jet or Ultra Starter on Twitter. And we're going to be showing you guys how these guys strategically dumped Bitcoin at the bottom. We've got the receipts. Everybody knows this is going. There is also crossover between some of the previous companies that I worked with and Brian Evans and Cliff as well. They're thick as thieves in with, some of the goings-ons that are around the situation. And you'll see that they got advanced information about what was going to happen before I was ever, removed or whatever you want to say, whatever happened with me in my previous company. That's not important. This isn't about talking about the situation of the previous company. I'm going to show you guys how the guys absolutely dumped the price of Bitcoin, sold 30 trillion tokens. I think that was the number that I had last. It was 30 trillion tokens with a project that has 420 approximate trillion tokens in V1. I want to introduce you guys to the players here. We have Jeff Mahoney, a billionaire, as you guys can see here. Hourglass, a decentralized community-driven token. I'm not going to talk about Hourglass at all because it's stupid. I don't even know what it does. The whole plan was basically to get me to come along and pump it. I mean, that's what they wanted. Holdings Corporation, which is how he became a billionaire. Now, I want you guys to understand, I've alluded to the fact that Bitcoin was backed by a billionaire. Meet the billionaire, guys. Here he is. These are the people that purchased Bitcoin from Ben.eth. They paid $1.7 million for the coin, and we were supposed to split it 50-50. I was obviously going to be the chairman of the Bitcoin Foundation. The Bitcoin Foundation obviously is in control still of all of our tokens that we originally received. There were some, I think, maybe that were paid for expenses at different points. We're talking about a very small amount. Originally, we were both supposed to receive about 29 trillion tokens. There was a percentage that was sent out to some other people. But Jeff Mahoney and Jet here, you guys can see Jet, here he is. These were the people that purchased Bitcoin. So no wonder they wanted to have an Hourglass partnership. tip. They were leveraging this to get me to talk about their coin and different stuff. You guys can see anything this guy's involved with, I would run away from as much as possible. He's a Weasley little guy. You can see. Kind of looks like he's 12. But regardless, I digress. And guys, I'm pissed. I want everybody to know I'm pissed. You hear me making fun of these people? They deserve it. They dumped almost 10% of the supply on you. Oh, look at this. Brian Evans, also the guy that, sent my bill over to Brett Harrison, FTX, trying to be my friend so he could use me, obviously, for to pump and dump his own coins. And look at this. Here it is. Look at Brian Evans. CoinDesk, Cointelegraph, Entrepreneur, Influencer, Men's Journal. He's got basically an arm the size of a toothpick, so I don't know why he's in Men's Journal. Forbes, Rolling Stone, and GQ. You don't look good, Brian. I don't know what this freaking low IQ smile is, but let's check this out, guys. Never trust someone that follows 55.7 thousand people. This number, by the way, was actually over 100,000 recently. He does what's called follow and follow, which means he goes and he basically follows everybody under the moon, sees who's going to follow him back, and then slowly unfollows them all on Twitter to build up his following. He's got 1.3 million followers, guys. And look at this, 545 likes here in a world that's seemingly flooded. 6,748 likes, 2,400. Cool, 313, 4,900, 6,000. None of this is real, guys. None of this is real. Like, I hope you understand that. All of these comments are bots. Affinity Collective, by the way, that's Brian Evans. The top comment on his own post is Brian Evans. This is a Brian Evans account, and I believe he's got accounts everywhere. Look at this stupid bot comment. Definitely relationship builder mentality is key. What does that have to do with this post? Here it is. In a realm where everyone's armed with fancy data analytics and elite AI, remember, real power is wielded by those with battle-hardened instinct and an incredible inner circle. Obviously, this makes sense. Definitely relationship builder mentality is key. Oh, and there we go. There's another one of those guys. But here's the thing, guys. When you go to Brian Evans and you look at what is going on here, with his account, let's go here back to Brian Evans, back to the scammer Brian Evans. You guys can look down here and you can see his tweets, guys. None of these are legitimate. None of these are real. None of his likes are real. None of his engagement is real. He shoehorned himself into trying to be popular because he needs to be popular in order to scam everyone. So you look at this, when you go look at these articles about him, what you'll find is he paid for them. He paid to be on some of what was the one? I think it was Forbes South Africa or something like that. If you look at the people that were listed, oh, and look at this. Here they are. There they are. Butt buddies. There they are. Jet and Brian. Butt buddies to write home with. So the fact is, I mean, God, I wouldn't want to be in the middle of that. But when you look at Brian Evans and let's go to his website and let's take a look at some of the scammy stuff he freaking does. Founder, Web3 and crypto investor, incorporated 500 entrepreneur. Let's see if we can find any of these articles or any of these clickable. None of these are clickable. Interesting. You come here, see Brian Projects, Influencive, which is a failed social media platform that he's tried to pawn off and sell to me 7 times. Affinity Collective. Told you it's him. Shocker. Alpha District. Upcoming Web3 game universe. Who cares? None of that stuff's important. Here we go. Check this out. The Forbes Crypto Top 40. I'm going to show you guys how stupid this is. Okay. This guy. The Forbes Brunei. Of course, we love Brunei. Crypto Top 40. Okay. Number 1, Vitalik Buterin. Number 2, Michael Saylor. Number 3, Sandeep Nawal, the guy from Polygon. Andre, and I have no idea who he is. Yatsui, co-founder of Animoca, Joseph Lubin, Eric Voorhees, Sebastian Bourget from Sandbox, Jack Dorsey, and look at this at number 8, freaking Brian Evans. When in the world should Brian Evans be mentioned with Joseph Lubin and Eric Voorhees? Okay, Sebastian above Jack Dorsey. Like, can we please be for real about this? he paid to get listed in this article because that's what he does. He tried to bring, so what happens is, these are the people that bought Bitcoin. Brian is the one who brought it together, and Jet and Jeff are the ones that fronted the money. Of course, Brian took off at some point. Of course, he's in cahoots with a lot of people involved in this situation, but he tried to bring in this guy, Peter. And I want to talk about Cassie for a minute. Cassie's the CEO of Bitcoin. Everybody knows she's in the truck. Everybody knows that. But the point is that he tried to bring in Peter, and he literally tried to fire Cassie. And I know Brian and Jet are in cahoots because I thought I could trust Jet. And I told Jet I had a lot of questions about Brian Evans' integrity. He's been involved in a lot of failed projects. Cyber Hornets. Cyber Hornets is another NFT project that Brian Evans dumped to high heavens. Go look it up. I'm 99% sure that's the name of it. My guy Rex could tell me. But the point is, people have caught him doing this pump and dump stuff over and over again. So he brings in this guy, Peter Gurr, the founder of Wise Token. And he tells me that Peter is this really, Peter sent me some stuff a couple years ago. He tells me that Peter has built the biggest liquidity pool on Uniswap. So let's check this out. Let's go to Uniswap and let's see what this says here. The Wise ETH pair. Let's check this out and let's see if this is the biggest. It's $103 million in total liquidity. The volume is $264. The volume is not thousands, $264, and he's made 79 cents in fees today. Great job. Brian tries to sell me that Peter is this incredible guy who's going to come in and change it. Biggest liquidity pool in the world. All that stuff's fake, obviously. Like, yeah, it's got a lot of money in it. I don't know, probably $100 million. I don't know, maybe, who knows? Okay, but I just don't know where the money is. I don't know what it is. But the point is he tries to get in Peter. He tries to get Peter in with me to be the CEO of Bitcoin, or the CEO of Bitcoin. And at first, like, I'm under these guys' spell. I think they're being honest with me because I'm trusting. And he uses Peter. Peter comes and asks for a $350,000 a year salary when he says that's the average for a or it was a COO, actually, I think it was. A COO average salary is $350,000 a year. First of all, that's not even close to correct. But second of all, this was simply Brian Evans trying to move Cassie out of the way so Peter could control the project and do what he wanted to do. That's Brian's MO. Brian is always bringing in people from the outside. He's got a super scammy market maker that controls all these pump and dumps. And he tries to bring that guy in order to, his name's Sammy, tries to bring that guy in order to do these pump and dumps. Well, when I started having questions about Brian's integrity, I told Jet. And then wouldn't you know it, right after that, Brian Evans sends me a text or apologizes.
In the continuation of the video, Ben goes in depth into the interconnections behind the billionaire that tried to destroy his project, and makes a promise that will surprise you. Like and subscribe to the channel to stay informed. Check the Bybit promo where you can get free $20 just for creating an account with no deposit, so you can start trading real money today.
This is from Brian Evans, as you can see here. Jeff Mahoney will also add to his position over time. Jeff, the billionaire, is going to market buy all the time. He doesn't dump. Only way later in scheduled market caps. Cliff, yeah, Jeff is buy only with no selling for weight. I'm sure he'll be the same with Ben. His first number, where he'd even consider little bits of scaling out, is around 500 million market cap in this case. And this is the agreement that we had, that they were not going to sell any of their coins. We always talked about it. Look at our Bitcoin treasury. Look at our address. We've got almost 27 trillion. We haven't touched it. Tiny expenses and OTC deals. That's it. We haven't sold a single token to do anything other than, I don't even think we've ever sold a single token from there. The ETH that we've spent, or if we ever had to move stuff around, it was done with money from the liquidity pool. The liquidity pool profits, not from the original market that we were given here, okay, or the original amount that we were given when this thing was bought from Ben.eth. So what's really interesting is they said they were going to scale out around 500 million, and this was the agreement. Well, sometime around the beginning of August, Cliff starts saying, hey, like, we're going to start selling a little bit. And I'm like, no, don't do that. That's going to dump the price. Like, maybe we can work out something where we can buy, your half from you. And so we were kind of having some conversations about that. However, I was not aware that Cliff and Brian, I don't know what Jeff knows, but Cliff and Brian were given information about what was about to happen to me. Which is weird because supposedly what was supposed to happen to me, again, gone from a company, started from some kind of dispute. And this was 4 days before the dispute even began. This was already in motion, guys. This was already in motion. I'm not going to talk about the situation, the case, but my point is these guys right here were given information, and what did they do with it? Did they ever care about crypto adoption? Did they ever care about Bitcoin? Well, let's take a look here at some of these addresses. This address right here is the address that Jet and I agreed we were going to do a swap of $100,000 worth of Bitcoin for $100,000 worth of weight. Now, what's interesting is I guess whoever was in charge of sending this actually sent like $100,000, and we only got $50,000 back for weight. And so the agreement is we weren't going to sell it ever. Which, hey, Jeff, I didn't know your name. Jet, I sold it all today. I sold all my Hourglass today. It was $30,000 worth. I'm sorry, but you sold over $1 million worth of Bitcoin in a few days, but I digress. I'm sorry I dumped my $30,000 worth of weight tokens, completely worthless weight tokens, Jet. But let's move on here because you start digging around here and you start looking. Let's see, that was page 2. Page 1 here, you guys can see has weight in it, 816. You can see they got rid of 800,000, 1.387 trillion Bitcoin they sold. Now they sent this the way they would sell this, they would send it into exchanges. Remember, these guys promised that they were not going to sell them. Now look at this date. On August 16th, they started selling. Very interesting. We go back and we look at the Bitcoin price, and you go here and you say, August 16th, I don't know. The price was right here. This is when the selling started. Transferred money to this address very early on. I want you guys to look at this, okay? I want you guys to look at these dates. Let's go all the way to page 4. That's right, guys. 4 pages of dumping on ETHplorer, okay? And NFI. Pretty distinct. I mean, I can't believe there's millions of dollars even in these things. But if you look at NFI, you go to markets, you got Bybit and you got MEXC. Then you go here to Suzuverse and you have MEXC. They were dumping all of their coins on MEXC where you can buy and sell Bitcoin. That's what they were doing the entire time. This is what they've been doing. I want to show you guys this again here because this is page 4. At first, and the reason why when you see the chart here, that it almost looks a little sideways here. It's almost kind of starting to recover a little bit. Remember, nothing gets public with me until the 27th. Okay. So you can see here that they were trying to manage their dumping. Now remember, we had an agreement that they weren't going to sell until a $500 million market cap. The market cap at this point is probably around $20 million, 18, 17, something like that. I'm not exactly sure where it was, but these guys directly lied. They screwed over the Bitcoin community. You have a billionaire that can't be patient because $1.7 million went into this, and they got some of their money back, and then the liquidity dropped, and then the trading fees or the trading dropped, and they weren't making their money, and they decided to just totally F over the Bitcoin community. Here's the great thing, though. The great thing about this is they're gone now. They're out of Bitcoin, so we don't have to worry about this anymore, but these people need to be held accountable for what they did. You can go look at our wallet. You can see 26 trillion or so in there. We haven't touched it. Then go look at their wallet. And here, we'll put the addresses down below. I want you guys to see this, okay? 811, 900 billion. August 15th, 2.35 trillion. August 17th, 1 trillion. August 17th, another trillion. Let's keep going. Another trillion on the 18th. Another trillion on the 18th. On the 21st, another trillion. Another trillion. 5th, 2 trillion. And of course, Jet had dispersed these all of his Bitcoin to 3 addresses. And so what you're seeing in this wallet is you're seeing what the money coming in is all of the Bitcoin that he's transferring from these other wallets all into one to send to Maxi to do the selling. In one swoop on the 27th, the morning that this happened, see, they've been biding their time and then it became public. The backers of the coin, $7.78 trillion. And I would tell you this, if you're a Bitcoin investor, I would consider a class action lawsuit against these guys. The point is, all of these people are gone from Bitcoin right now. And I want you to know that you're never going to see a person work harder on a project. You're never going to see someone be more passionate about a project. You're never going to see someone sacrifice more in order to make a project great than I'm going to. Is it because I love crypto and I love crypto adoption? I do love crypto. I do love crypto adoption. Yeah, definitely. Is it because I want you to make money? Well, yeah, I do want you to make money, right? I want adoption. I want you to make money. Is it about spiting my mother trucking enemies? These people have tried to destroy me. These people invited me on their show, got me in the circle, and then stabbed me in the back. Sounds like a familiar story, doesn't it? Sounds familiar. The fact is, I will not let these people win. I'm already winning. I will not let these people in their crappy show win. I'm going to win. Bitcoin is going to win. Bitcoin investors are going to win. And if you want to fade Ben Armstrong, take a look at what's happened. I'm unfadeable. Bitcoin is going to be on the map. It's going to be the catalyst for crypto adoption. And I'm going to put my name behind that. And I have, because the name of the coin is Bitcoin. If you're in the Bitcoin community, number one, I love you. If you held through the Jet and Jeff Mahoney dumping, if you held through that, you're getting rewarded. We're working on those rewards right now. If you lost money in the SIM card swapping ring that occurred on Twitter, and there's a lot of stuff moving in the background with that, when V2 launches, as long as you filled out that form that we had out, you're getting your money back. We do what is required to make people whole, even if it wasn't their fault. These other people, they'll just stab you in the back and steal your coins. These people need to be held accountable. If you're in the Bitcoin community, then you have now seen the face.
What's your honest opinion on Ben? Are Bitcoin holders wrecked? Should they have bought this type of coin in the market? That's another story. Post your honest opinion about Bitcoin in the comment section down below, and I see you next time.